Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is April 6th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see the next system just now starting to impact the west coast in Northern California. It will bring some precipitation down towards Central California, a few inches of snow across some of the Sierra Nevada, locally higher amounts north. Then we're going to get a little bit of a break here as an atmospheric river moves up into the Pacific Northwest, kind of tries to clip Northern California a bit, but then it looks like a cold upper level trough is going to drop down across the state. It's somewhat moisture starved, but it will bring another round of snowfall and keep things cool across much of the state as we go through towards mid-April here. But then we're going to watch out for that warm up. That's what everybody's concerned about right now. There's so much snow water equivalent across some of this Sierra Nevada here that we're just waiting to see how fast we're going to try to melt that. We've already got some flooding conditions going on across lower elevations, and with that extreme runoff here, we're just kind of crossing our fingers and hoping we don't melt things too quickly across the higher terrain. This is looking at central and northern California here, just something to wet the roadways, really nothing like what we have been getting the last month or so. This is looking at that snowfall forecast, just a few inches across much of the Sierra Nevada here. Some of the higher terrain locally might be higher amounts across some of Northern California at Lassen Park there as well. Look at that, maybe 1.5 to 2 feet there. But again, those should be localized amounts, maybe some brief winter weather driving conditions as you go across I-5 in Northern California, Southern Oregon. You can see the snow levels are fairly high with this system, just minor impacts expected. This is looking at the NAM 3KM, hot off the presses, state of California. You can see the frontal system dragging down across, just some blustery winds here, nothing too crazy. In the higher terrain of Sierra Nevada here as you go on in through Friday night, tonight, and some of the desert areas will still be a little bit blustery as you go on in through very early tomorrow morning. This is looking at the system coming through now, and you can see it cast down across northern and central California there. Atmospheric river points to the Pacific Northwest here, tries to clip Northern California briefly. Then we're going to get this cold upper level trough moving down the coastline there. It's going to be somewhat moisture starved because of the trajectory of that storm, but we'll have to watch this closely. The further it tracks out over water, of course, the more moisture will be able to pick up and move it back into the state of California here. But right now it looks pretty moisture starved, but it should bring another round to some of the higher terrain. And then we got to watch for the potential closely for that warm up here as we go through the extended. As you can see, the European wants to bring this trough further off the shoreline here and start to warm us up a bit as we go in towards mid-April, which of course would be bad news. But at some point, we're going to have to deal with all that water and that snow across the higher terrain there. It's going to come down one way or another. Let's just hope we can do it more gradually versus not. Looking at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right here. This is up towards 5,000 feet, 850 millibars. So here goes that system moving through currently. Bit of a warm up as that atmospheric river moves north into Washington, Oregon, British Columbia there. And then as we go on into the future a little bit more, there comes that cold upper level trough moving down the coastline there. And then we get some big disagreements showing up. You can see the European really warming up the west coast here versus the GFS keeping the trough closer and would be stormier and wetter here, especially across the state of California. So we'll see how this develops over the next few days as we continue to watch this extended forecast, because really that's the big weather news item of the next few weeks here is that amount of snow water equivalent across the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada here. As you know, we've already got flooding concerns ongoing across Lake Tulare, for example, down there across some of the Central Valley area. And you can see Southern Sierra is up over 300% of its normal snowpack up there, or snow water equivalent, I should say. The Central Sierra about 242, and the Northern is about twice the amount there. We're looking at 95 stations reporting as of April 6th. We're doing about 61.7 inches of water equivalent here. So that's an average of 5 feet of water across this higher terrain here, just waiting to come down and run through the rivers and tributaries and streams out into the valley areas. This is looking at that former Lake Tulare. I've just learned about this here in the last couple of years, and you can see the old Lake Tulare lake bed down there. So when these huge runoffs do occur, it floods pretty quickly down here, and you can see the area of detail here across Central California there. And I know you know about this. Obviously, if you're in the area, flooding is already ongoing here, and with so much water up above in the mountains there. This is going to be a concern for sure on in through April into May, most likely. And of course, the current reservoir conditions, every place is doing quite well here. I hear that Trinity is a little bit higher here, and it's more based on snow melt, which is not occurring yet. That's why that level is not higher. But virtually every single other reservoir is up towards their historical average or above, and Shasta is right there at 85% of their full reservoir capacity. This is the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, keeping much of the west below average. Here's the precipitation outlook, maybe a little bit above average here for the state of California. We'll watch that as we go. This goes out through April 19th. If you guys want a handheld weather station here that hooks up wirelessly to your smartphone, it does pressure, humidity, temperature, wind speed. It's got it all there. A very nice little system here. Click on that link below if you want to save 10% off. And if you want a home weather station here, it's got everything. It stores all the data in the cloud for you. You don't add batteries. It's all solar powered. It's all wireless. It's got lightning detection. It's got an ultrasonic anemometer. It's got UV and solar radiation index. Got all kinds of stuff on there. Click on that link below for 10% off for that. But anyway, yeah, we'll watch this closely. We'll look at that extended forecast and try to pinpoint when the inevitable warm up is going to come here. Hopefully it's more gradual versus not. And yeah, but anyway, I hope you guys liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. If you click like, it helps the algorithm and it gets out to more people here across the region here as well. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys then.